So I wrote an article a few weeks ago, well, a couple of months ago, and that QR code is for the article. If you want to read the full article, you don't want to listen to this fool. And it's a bit of a twist, a fun twist on the hurdles that we go through as platform engineers on building platforms or starting the platform initiative in organizations. We learn a lot from our classics, right? From our philosophers. And anyone did not read Ulysses Odyssey? You're afraid to raise your hand, isn't it? So Ulysses Odyssey, to cut it short, it's rather large. To cut it short, is an ontology or a manifestation of the hurdles that an individual goes through to achieve the mission and the goals that it has in mind. And there are a lot of challenges through these missions, right? When we talk about platforms, what we want to build is we want to empower our developers to be self-serviced and to accelerate their development process. One thing, while I'm going through this, what I would like you to do is to take a picture of each slide. I know it's a hard thing to do, but take a picture of each slide. In each slide, I have highlighted what I think is the important thing of the slide, a few words in bold characters, and then we take it from there. So, my name is William Rizzo. Sorry, I go back. Did you have to take a picture? Go for it. Elevator music. Okay. My name is William Rizzo. I'm a strategy lead in the CTO office at Mirantis. I'm a CNCF ambassador, a LinkedIn ambassador, contributing to several OSS open source projects, particularly one into Kairos and Kubernetes. I'm in the release team. Don't scan the QR code. I would rather not connect with you if possible. And that's my GitHub handle and my Slack, CNCF Slack, Kubernetes Slack, whatever Slack. Yeah, I'm Will I Am. All right. Now, let's play a little bit. The Lotus Eaters, for those that read the Odyssey, the Lotus Eaters were encounters by Ulysses and his crew, and they were these people that were eating a fruit, from the lotus fruit, that would make them forget their purpose, would make them forget their goals. The reason why I'm going on with this story is because I'm expecting you to take the picture of the slide. So when we are focused on, when we lose focus, we get distracted. We start agreeing on certain things that are bringing us out of our goal, and inertia is an issue, right? We focus on something that is relatively important or not important at all, and we just forget to do what we were starting to do at all. There is also another issue that I like to relate to the Lotus Eaters, the ivory tower that is not written there. Does any of you work in very large organizations? Is any of you an enterprise architect? So, dare to say if you don't know what an enterprise architect is. Good. So, the enterprise architecture board or the lead enterprise architects in very large organizations, normally you have business units. You have a business unit with the architects or the principal architects for those business units. And then you have the enterprise, and then in there you have the enterprise architecture board. These are the enterprise architecture board. As I'm looking at the gentleman that is staring at me like he's about to jump on me. So let's say he's my principal architect, and I'm the enterprise architecture board. I'm sitting in the enterprise architecture board. The gentleman over there would come up with a solution to solve something in his business unit. And he is entitled and empowered to do so. That initiative might be interesting for the whole enterprise. So he would bring it up to a review with the enterprise architecture board, the ivory tower. If I'm stuck eating my lotus fruits, his innovation appears to me as something uninteresting. I've lost my focus, right? I'm distracted. So I'm going to challenge his innovation. Sorry, I keep picking on you, but you're a big guy. You can take it. So I'm going to challenge his innovation to evaluate if this is something that we really should do. That's a problem. So I'm not saying that the enterprise architecture board is the problem, but the problem is that we might not have a way to challenge the inertia that the enterprise architecture board is not bringing in normal organizations. So we need to think a bit on that. I don't have an answer for that, of course. Thank you for helping me. Now, the Cyclops. Who remembers the Cyclops? Of course, everybody. Nobody read it, but everybody remembers the Cyclops. So, when Ulysses arrives at the Cyclops, at the cave of the Cyclops, the men were stuck in a cave, right? They couldn't get out. And Ulysses blinded the Cyclops. It wasn't so difficult. They had one eye. So, but the Cyclops, what the Cyclops did, got all the, still had to get the sheep out and in. Cool thing that the Cyclops did, he let the sheep out and touched each of the sheep. Ulysses figured out what is the most ingenious thing to do. Still taking pictures of the slide, right? I'm bumbling here. So the Ulysses and his people, they just went under the ship and they could just get out. Ulysses was a very smart guy. Now, what is the Cyclops? What is the monstrous thing that we have in platform engineering? Is integration complexity. Is bringing all those tools, make them work, create those APIs that are going to get us stuck in a tremendous technical depth, and just go forward. Then we can move forward. That's something that we need to think about. That's our monster. That's the monster that we are going to always remember. Like all of you remember the Cyclops, and I'm sure you don't remember Scylla or Circe. You're going to remember the Cyclops. You're going to remember your monsters. Next one is Circe's island. Circe was a mage. She was apparently extremely beautiful, and Ulysses pissed her off. She turned all those sailors into pigs. Yes. Oops. So she turns all the sailors into pigs, and she changed the reality for them. So they lost sight of the transformation's goals. The pigs in this reference are the transforming, and I'm sorry for this reference. I realize now that it might be offensive for some people, but it's transforming platform engineers from what they have to bring in innovation and discuss with the developers their development journey into maintenance crew, because there is so much tech debt, because they were distracted by the goal, they're not innovating anymore, they're just keeping the lights on. Maintenance crew. I'm not saying that keeping the lights on is equivalent to being a pig. It's just a metaphor. Let's go to the next one. I think it's better. So Sheila's and I never remember the name of it. Carbides. So do you remember where? So Schill and Carbides, they're actually islands that exist, but navigating through them, they are twins in the story, but they're actually islands. So navigating through them was very challenging for sailors. So navigating through constraints and navigating through constraints require wits, and the insisting on trying to navigate was a sign of overambition. You were, I think that the right term is hubris. So when we have constraints, we need to get our wit with us. We need to create a prioritization. We need to have from our leadership. We need to stimulate our leadership to bring forward tangible and measurable goals and priorities, right? So we can create the priorities if we have tangible and measurable goals. Mean time to resolutions is a measurable goal. Return on investment, and I dare you to find a way to calculate it by yourself. That's also a goal. Who do you think is the one that should help the platform team evaluate the return on investment in an organization? Assuming I'm speaking with my gentleman there, no, not anymore with him, it's too big. With this one, with the beard, I'm joking. Assuming he's my architect, my principal architect, beautiful architecture, bringing it to me to the enterprise architecture board, who is the one that is going to help me, who help us evaluate the return on investment? Who do we need to involve? Because we're all platform engineers here, right?
Users.
Sorry?
Users.
Users. So the platform engineers can't establish the full return of investment of the initiative. The developers, the users of the platform, are one part of that coin, right? The business needs to be on the table. The business needs to be there on the table. What is it that the business needs to invest? What is it that we need to bring back into the business? So the whole platform, what I'm trying to suggest is that the whole platform initiative is not just achieved by platform engineers. Okay, move forward. The sirens. So in their journey, the Ulysses and Ulysses did something beautiful, right? I mean, the sirens were singing to the sailors, and while singing, the boats would get towards the island, and they would just horribly crash, and they would all die. So what Ulysses figured out, what he did is asked all the sailors to fold their ears, but he wanted to listen to it, so he asked to fold him on the mast of the boat. So he wanted to hear those songs. The comparison that I made is that it's kind of listening to us vendors and to us developers and to us project maintainers and CNCF and Linux Foundation, all the foundations that you want, telling you what are the best tools that you should be using because these are the statistics that we have. I think folding blindly what a trend is, it's the worst thing to do because it's the modern one, because it's the right one. No, you should develop a knowledge, expertise on what you need, implement, iterate, move forward, learn and continue learning. That's very important. Don't follow the sirens. Follow me, not the sirens. Calypso. Calypso was a fantastic mage as well, and promised to Ulysses immortality if he accepted to abandon his quest. He would have had everything he wanted if he just accepted to forget to whatever he was doing, right? So he didn't do that. He followed. I compare this to like losing sight of your roadmap, of what you put yourself forward for. Put the platform plan towards. So we have our roadmap, we have our users that ask us for specific capabilities. We put each one of the capabilities in the roadmap when we can, and we iterate through those capabilities. Does it make sense, this so far? Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, I got one thumb up. The rest I don't care. Okay, so how do we keep the? You see, I keep going through the same things, right? Measurable results, MTTR, don't lose track of the final goal. It is an iteration of activities. At the end, the platforms are built in this way. The return to Ithaca is the final goal, it's the final target of Ulysses. That's home. That's where he wants to be. That's where he needs to be. It needs, what we would call it, the transformation is achieved, right? Sorry, I didn't find any other better word than transformation. I didn't want to say it, but that's what it is. We achieve our platform initiative. We achieve maturity. We have a good adoption. And how do we have it? Because we have a complete self-service of the platform. Our developers, our users, our data analysts, or our whatever is the users of the platform can iterate and use the platform with the, without being dependent of the platform engineers. I have one question, and it's outside of this. Who was this morning? Who was this morning at the platform coffee? Nice. Of those, so today at the platform coffee we had, there was one, so it's an activity that we do in the platform engineering working group, and I'm sure that my friends here would love anyone here to join that Slack channel and the community group. There was a question that was particularly interesting that said, we want developers to help platform engineers develop capabilities of the platform that they are going to consume. It's normal collaboration, right? We know iterating developers in the platform engineering team, we know this, we have tested this, speeds up the delivery of the capability and the adoption, because if I helped you create it, I know what it is, I'm gonna be more comfortable adopting what you have created. But there was one question that said, if a developer or a group of developers helped developing the if a developer or a group of developers helped develop that feature, that person, that group, those people should be also maintaining that feature in the platform. I believe this is a dangerous position to put, this dangerous mindset. The mindset works very much in open source. When we have developers that contribute code into a repo, we want that person that contribute the code of the feature, we want them to nurture that code, to be responsible for the code and keep it updated and secure. But when we are developing a platform and a feature for a platform, we can't be asking to the users of the platform to maintain that feature in the platform that we have. Because then their business acceleration, development acceleration is going to be impacted by developing the platform, by maintaining the platform, right? So there should be an end-off and an iteration by the platform engineers, in my opinion. Does anyone agree with this? Okay, quite a few. I'm okay with also those that don't agree. It's good. It's good to disagree. Now, what are the Homer's lessons for platform engineers? Many. The success is definitely defined by the resilience, the journey. Like we learned from Ulysses, we become stronger and more knowledgeable and more expert as we go through the journey of implementing and building. the balance. We must balance technology, culture. Sorry, the culture and strategy. There was also a statement in the platform community group that wasn't very much accepted, that platform engineering is a cultural, is a society problem, social issue. I don't know if somebody remembers in the platform engineering working group. We always start with platform engineering saying that platform engineering is a socio-technical exercise because we have to implement tooling, we have to integrate tooling, we have to reduce complexity, we have to accelerate, but we also have to learn, we have to adopt, we have to have a developer experience role within the platform engineering team. So it is a socio-technical exercise. As I said, please do go on and take on the pictures of the slide. Sorry, but my voice is finished, is ending. One last thing, note about platform engineering. As I said before, I'm a member of the Deep Roots team, and Deep Roots Slack as well, or group. Please join the Merge Forward. Is an interesting initiative for different underrepresented group. And that was all I had. It was just I hope it was light enough for the end of KubeCon.